I want to thank you all for coming, and I want to welcome all of you this afternoon to the kickoff for the 2013 Association for Enterprise Opportunity, that's AEO, National Conference. This year's conference theme is Tilt Forward, the Power of Microbusiness. I am so excited that AEO has chosen St. Louis to be its host city this year. St. Louis, of course, is the perfect location to host this year's conference. So I want to thank Justine Peterson, who's here and who's the host organization. I want to thank you for your leadership. I understand you've got some outstanding numbers to share regarding microlending for the St. Louis metropolitan area. Now, as you know, microbusinesses are vital to St. Louis as well as to cities across the country. Microbusiness is a national topic as well. And this conference poses a great opportunity for St. Louis and its region to be a part of the conversation, and to also place St. Louis in the national spotlight. I am honored to be co-chair this year. We welcome AEO's members and microbusiness owners from across the country. AEO works hard to create economic opportunities for underserved entrepreneurs. At this year's conference, you will find workshops about loans, gain advice from small business counselors, and hear from established CEOs about the ups and downs of owning your own company. While St. Louis lags behind some major cities in terms of its job growth, its recovery of home prices, and economic growth in general, there is growth nonetheless. Slow and steady growth right here in the city of St. Louis and the region. So I say that glass is half full. This year, at the Women's Forum of the conference, we will celebrate 25 years of the Women's Business Ownership Act, 25 years. Today, there are more than 8.3 million women-owned businesses in the United States that generate some 1.3 trillion in revenue and employ over 7 million people. Right now, I am so delighted to welcome and to turn the podium over to Ms. Connie Evans, President and CEO of the Association of Enterprise Opportunity. Connie.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Comptroller Green, for not only being the co-chair, but being a dear friend to micro businesses, not only here in your wonderful city of St. Louis, but by serving as our co-chair, it truly does send a signal that you are indeed a champion of micro and small businesses across the country. It is exciting to be in the Gateway City with all of you today. I want to thank again not only Comptroller Green for hosting us and opening up this lovely, beautiful space for today's kickoff, but you have been, Comptroller Green, so now I'm going to tell you. You already know this, but she has been an outstanding spokesperson for us, doing the public service announcements and interviews. She really has gone out of her way to be supported. Also, I must early now thank our friends at Justine Peterson. You are great partners in our quest for advocacy on behalf of the interests of all the underserved micro businesses in the country. And Galen, where are you? A very big thanks. A very big and special thanks to Galen for chairing our host planning committee. This committee has done a phenomenal job in drumming up excitement and wrangling sponsor support on the ground here in St. Louis. I know that there are a number of committee members who were able to join us today. May you stand just so we can again let everyone thank you. Thank you so much. We could have not pulled this spectacular event off without your help. Now I must also take a moment to thank you and say a very special thank you to our St. Louis sponsors. Not only has the sponsors stepped up to support Justine Peterson, their local micro business development organization and premier micro lender in the state, but they went beyond that and welcomed AEO by offering their sponsorship. So I again ask you to indulge me while I actually call out each of their names. And again, I know most, if not all of them, are here today. Melanie DeLeo of Citi, Michelle Hintz of Fifth Third Bank, Brian Boyer, Lori Morgan, and Terry Stack, and Monica Campbell, all of PNC, Cynthia Jordan of Regions Bank, Ron Barnes and Alex Fenoy of Midwest Bank Center, our good friend Dennis Melton of the SBA, our great friend Matt Ashby of the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, the amazing Kathleen Delfa of the International Institute, and of course, our dear partner, Robert Boyle of Justine Peterson. Heritage Foods, University of Missouri Extension, the Douglas C. Green Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, and Urban Chestnut Brewery are also sponsors who will be joining us at the conference later. In the few moments that I have to spend with you today, I really want to share a little bit more information about AEO, again, the Association for Enterprise Opportunity. As many of you already know, of course, we are a DC-based national premier nonprofit organization with the membership and partners that are investing and supporting micro business around the country. Our network of 400 plus members and partners really work every day to invest in underserved entrepreneurs who contribute to the economic growth of their communities and our great country. One of AEO's chief aims is giving voice to micro businesses in state houses and on Capitol Hill. We also work very hard to drive awareness of the value that micro businesses are playing in their own communities. We have member organizations, those nonprofits in every state around the country, who provide capital and business support services to these smallest of entrepreneurs to help them start, hire, and grow. We know that micro businesses create a path to wealth for their owners. They open doors to self-sufficiency and financial stability for individuals and families, their employees, and they help to rebuild communities. Perhaps, though, the most intriguing fact is that micro businesses is a story of job creation. Despite their incredible and undeniable contributions to job creation, they really face tremendous barriers securing the resources they need to grow and to hire. Let me share just a few data points that illustrate the immense value of the micro business industry. First, AEO's research shows that if 1 in 3 Main Street micro businesses hired just one employee, the country would reach full employment. Just 1 in 3 hired, we could actually reach full employment. Did you know that micro businesses represent over 90% of all the businesses in this country? and they generate more than $4.87 trillion for the U.S. economy. But again, it's about a job story. It's about wealth building. Business owners have 2.5 times more wealth than non-business owners. When many of us are working, whether we're at banks, community-based organizations, or in the private sector or in Capitol Hill, we know that wealth building for our individuals and their communities is key, and small and micro business is a great pathway for this. Despite all of the contributions that these businesses make, not only to our national economy, but to their local communities, they face hurdles in accessing capital and the business support needed to really thrive, grow, and hire. So we're using this year's conference to tilt the spotlight on current topics that really frame the essential question: how can we change the way capital and services flow to underserved entrepreneurs so that, again, these Main Street businesses are able to start, but more importantly, to grow and to hire? We are discussing promising practices, novel and innovative lending structures, and innovative delivery models that give micro businesses what they need to succeed and flourish. Friends, our agenda is well packed with great thought partners, thought leaders, giving us great mind share. But we're also going to have fun. We have a marketplace of local micro businesses. Next Monday, you can come and see your entrepreneurs, your local entrepreneurs, selling and sharing their wares. Our annual awards luncheon, which is actually sponsored by the City Foundation, will take place next Wednesday, and it will celebrate entrepreneurial excellence. We will actually award micro business owners and the micro business development organizations, such as friends like Justine Peterson, with awards up to $200,000 in cash. Damon John is our special guest speaker for that program. He's the founder and CEO of FUBU, and you may recognize him as one of the stars on ABC's Shark Tank. It's going to be a great time. I hope you will find and make the time to attend the conference or at least one of the events. I'll leave you with this. We can invest in job creation for St. Louis, for communities, and for the country through micro business. America's micro businesses really are a key answer to unemployment and America's economic recovery. Let's support and continue to invest in them so that they can grow and hire. Thank you again for your presence. I hope to see you next week. We'll actually be back at the end of this week, and you can learn more about the conference, the workshops, the events, and speakers on our website at microbusinessconference.org. Now it gives me great pleasure to turn the mic over to Rob Boyle, CEO and founder of Justine Peterson.
Great, thank you, Connie. When Galen gave me my talking points, he suggested that I mention, among other things, a couple of issues. One is the jobs creation activity that Connie mentioned. So I won't reiterate that except to say that Connie's point about 1 in 3, meaning if one business in every 3 hired one person, we would be at full employment. And that's something to take away and to think about, because again, considering how relatively inexpensive it is to hire a person, it's an extraordinary statistic. I want to thank Comptroller Green for stepping up and becoming the honorary chair of the Association for Enterprise Opportunity Conference, which we'll be having, of course, next week. And I hope to see each of you there. As Connie mentioned, we'll be having a really exciting marketplace event at 4 o'clock is it 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock? 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock at the Chase. So I hope you can make that. And also, Justine Peterson will, for the 4th year in a row, be sponsoring a forum for access to capital for women-owned businesses. My understanding is we have a full house for that, so I'm excited about that. The other thing that Galen reminded me to do, of course, is to recognize our partners, and as Connie has already done that, I won't do that again. However, I do want to recognize 2 of the Justine Peterson board members. Our board president, representing Enterprise Bank, is Philomena Angelucci Dean. Phil, would you stand, please? And thank you. And representing Fifth Third Bank, our longtime board member, Michelle Hintz. Michelle, thank you again for being here. Among the legacies that the late Justine Peterson left with us, in addition to access to the passion for access to capital, was an understanding of the only way that we could really proceed in any measurable way is to work through and with partners. And through the Association for Enterprise Opportunity, we've created partnerships in a national way. And what we do with that is learn and give. We give and we take. And this is an exciting opportunity for St. Louis. My understanding, Connie, correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that St. Louis was in competition with both Austin and Denver for this opportunity. So again, we're honored and humbled to have AEO select St. Louis. So thank you for that. Again, without going too much, without talking too much more, I do want to. Well, I also want to recognize one of our customers, Stephanie Chapman, who is Stephanie here, Galen? Or no, but Stephanie's cupcakes are on display for your eating pleasure. So make sure you get to that sometime soon. So again, thank you for being with us. Thank you for supporting Justine Peterson through the years. And I look forward to our continued partnership. I'm now going to turn back over to Comptroller Green for closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Once again, I want to thank all of you for coming. And before we close, I just want to give you a couple of reminders, and that is of one, on Monday, May 6th, we have the Marketplace of Local Micro Businesses. That's where our local businesses can showcase. So that's Monday between 4:30 and 7 at the Chase Park Plaza. And also, I want to repeat the awards luncheon, which is also at the Chase at 11:30 on Wednesday, and that's when you'll be able to hear from our Damon John as the guest speaker. So again, thank you all for coming. I want you to hang around for the networking reception. And I've also, that reception should start right about now, and it goes until 3:30. But in the audience, I wanted to point out an elected official who has joined us, and I want to thank him. Greg Daly, would you stand, please? Of course, Greg appreciates all of the micro businesses that operate in the city of St. Louis, and so for him, I will say thank you. And guys, thank you again.